Hi everybody, Mary here, and this is Intro to Astronomy video number 2, and we're going to go on a little quick tour of the course. I want you to know where I want you to go, how the class is put together, and what's expected of you in the first week or two. So let's go right over to Canvas. This is our first page, and if you go down the first page, there's a picture of me, there's my email, my schedule and my office hours, which will, of course, will change from semester to semester. I have a Zoom office hour link, and during my office hours, if you want to meet me, just email me. I'm not going to sit on Zoom waiting for somebody to show up, but you're welcome to email me and say, hey, Mary, can we meet on Zoom at such and such a time or place? And you betcha we can come up with something like that. Or you're welcome to call me at my office when I'm in my office. There's a copy of the syllabus, which I don't expect you to print, but that is there with the what's and wherefores of the class. And then there's a copy of our schedule, which I personally like a paper copy of what's going on. There's a rhythm to this class. The due dates will change, of course, from semester to semester, but the class is very much the same week to week to week. Every week there is going to be a study guide lab quiz, study guide lab quiz, study guide lab quiz. In the summer, it will run twice as fast because that's the nature of summer school, is that we do 2 weeks per one calendar week. The only weird things are in the first week, there's a couple organizational things we have to do, like a lab safety agreement and that opening discussion board. There will be a midterm and a final exam, and the other weird thing is an observing project, which we will go into more detail about later. After you get through these first couple opening videos, you can either enter the body of the course by going here, or most of the time you're going to go right to modules. And I think most of the time when you enter the course, modules is a great place to enter any Canvas course. Well, my Canvas courses anyhow. And you're going to notice they are organized by week so that all of the instruction and everything for that week is right there. Then you'll see week 1, week 2, week 3, and then this constellation stuff is a weird thing. So today we're going to talk about week 1 and then a little about this crazy constellations. So if you go right to page 1.1, welcome to Astronomy. The very first page is going to look exactly the same as the home page, except it has a next button at the bottom right-hand corner. Why? Well, that's the way Canvas is designed, so that's how that goes. I'm going to ask you to do an opening discussion board, and you can do it one of two ways. You can either do that in the traditional method, or you can stop in during one of my online office hours and say hi, because I would love to get to know you in person as a person, but I know that's not convenient for a lot of working people. So that is totally understandable. Pick whichever you prefer. The next page of the course has an awful lot of resources for you. If you have questions about the content of the course or how it flows, well, please contact me. I'm your instructor, and astronomy's my deal. This is my baby. Ask me. If you need extra academic help, there's a whole department, academic services, that can help you with that. Additional help, financial aid, navigating college. What do I, will this course transfer? Student services are there to support you with that. If it's technical issues, oh, my dears, I do not know all of the ins and outs of every computer that's out there and your internet challenges. So there's a whole group of wonderful IT folks here at CVTC. Here's some links to help get you to those folks, and they can help you with those issues. A couple links to questions that students commonly have about Canvas and their grades, and those are right there. After that page, we'll go to page 1.3, so module 1, third page, and we actually get into the learning of the chapter. And we start out with a grand tour of the universe, some basic broad information that we're going to use throughout the rest of the course. Now, the learning will come via video. And the videos are made by me, your instructor. I am going to be lecturing over PowerPoints. And if you bought the packet from the bookstore, you have the PowerPoints in that packet. If you did not buy the packet from the bookstore, you may download the class PowerPoints using this link. Those are Google Docs, and I encourage you to print them. Please seriously think about buying that packet from the bookstore. It's going to include all of the PowerPoints for all of the chapters, all the labs, and all of the study guides. So I put the packet together at the request of students because they said, for goodness sakes, Mary, can't you make this easier on all of us and just put it all in one place? And that's why I put it together. Then you don't have to run around and print or look for a printer, and you've got it. Watch one video after another, and there's fill in the blanks in the PowerPoints to help keep you engaged. And then you don't have to try and scramble to try and write so much down. It's right there. And astronomy is very image heavy, and a lot of those pictures and things are going to be right there in those notes. Interspersed between my lectures, I try and choose some really wonderful videos from YouTube to ask you to watch. This one is with Carl Sagan. Carl is an iconic astronomer from the 1980s. So just a few minutes with Carl, because I want you to know who Carl is. And these gentlemen have built a scale replica of the solar system in the desert. It gives you a great feel to the size and shape of the entire solar system. If you click the next button, it'll take you to the next page of week 1. And this is our study guide. Now, the study guide is a reading guide. There's no way that I can teach you everything in my little lectures, so you need to read that textbook. But the book is large, and I understand that you only have so many hours in your day. So this is going to help guide you towards what is important in that book. Here's an electronic copy, but if you have the packet from the bookstore, you already have a copy of that. The study guide is going to look something like this. And that study guide is going to be keyed. Let me get back to the top of it. The study guide is going to be keyed directly to the book. So if you look at section 1.1 in the textbook, all of these questions are going to be in section 1.1. All of the sections entitled Keeping Track of Space and Time, these questions are going to be there. So I try and make it relatively easy for you to find the answers. I don't want to make it too difficult for you. I want to help guide you to what I find important and what is going to be the most important things for you to learn, so that you can scan through these and really find out what's vital. In this first week, we're going to be doing a lot of chapter 1, but we're also going to do a little bit in chapter 4 on apparent magnitude and a little of chapter 16 on galaxies and Messier objects. So I'm dragging you all over the book to begin with because there's some base information I want you to know. When you're done with that study guide, you can either write in pencil and then upload it, or you can use the electronic copy, type it in, and upload it. This video will give you more information about how to submit those electronic assignments. Then click the next page, and you can continue your learning. This collection of videos is going to be on constellations in general, some major trends and major constellations, some information on apparent magnitude, Messier objects, and measuring angles with your body, which we're going to do in our first lab. So this is a skill that I want you to have. Every science class that you take is going to have a lab safety agreement. This is a CBTC Science Department policy. Easiest 10 points you're going to earn all semester long. Click this link here. It's a document you need to download, electronically sign, and back upload. When you do this, you're going to get 10 points. It's a requirement that you need to do this. Basically, it says, I promise I'm not going to do dumb stuff. Astronomy labs are incredibly, incredibly safe. But this is just we're keeping the lawyers happy, quite honestly. So read through that, sign it, and submit it. When you are done, click next, and it will take you to the first lab. Again, the copy of the lab can be downloaded here. If you have that packet from the bookstore, you have a paper copy of that lab. And there is a video to give you more information on week 1 lab right there, because we're just getting started. I don't have quite this many videos to watch all the time, but there's a lot of just details we need to keep track of this first week or so. Every week, there's going to be a group of constellations for you to learn. There's 44 constellations that you're going to learn throughout the course of the semester. There's 88 total, but about half of them are visible from the North American continent. And so those are the ones that we're going to study. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So how do you learn 44 constellations? We're going to learn 3 or 4 per week. The 4 for the first week are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. So every week there's going to be a small video, 5 minutes or so, about the constellations just for that week with a little story to help string everything together. There's a list of all the constellations that you need to learn for each week. This list is inside of that packet, and the weeks are there, and which constellations are fair game on which quiz. So that list can be printed if you did not get that packet from the bookstore. After that, the next thing you're going to come to is the weekly quiz. Now, the weekly quiz, I've designed the quizzes to be the same week after week after week in format. They're 10 questions, multiple choice. The 10 questions, multiple choice, they're worth 2 points per question, and they are timed 5 minutes. And sometimes students freak and they go, why are they timed? Oh no! Well, they're timed because I want you to actually learn stuff, not be good at Google. And so if you watch the videos, fill in the study guide, then you're going to be really good on the quiz. I know you're going to have your notes next to you. I know you're going to have your PowerPoints next to you. I plan on that. So how do you take the quiz? Well, go through, answer all the questions you're certain of first, and then use that last minute or so to look up the ones you really need to look up. If you have an accommodation plan from Academic Services to get a little extra time, make sure I get that submitted, or submit that to me so that I can give you the extra time you are entitled to because of your accommodation plan. At the end of every week, come on, internet, there we go. There is a little wrap up that you can double check. You've turned in everything you need to, and then typically we'd go on to the next chapter. But in between chapter 1 and 2, there is a separate little module on constellations. I put this early on so that you've got access to these resources. We're going to study those 44 constellations. There's going to be a little video on every week on the 3 or 4 for you to learn that week. If you want all of the PowerPoints that I use throughout the semester, there they are. You can print those. Once again, there's that list of 44 by weeks, same list I showed you a few minutes ago. Some students want to make their own flashcards. If you want to make your own flashcards, print that, cut them up into bits and pieces. Cool, you can make your own flashcards. Some of you bought the flashcards from the bookstore. That was an optional item. If you did that, you do not have to make your own constellation flashcards. So that's there. This is a collection of apps and games I found online that are really great. This one, this Enjoy Learning Constellation puzzle app, is available on Android and Apple for free. It's really a cool game, and I like it. And I found it challenging and a great way to learn your constellations. There's also a big lab observing project. It is due in week 15. There's a separate video explaining that. It's the beginning of the class, Mary. Why are you talking about something due at the end of the class? Well, you have to be working on this for 5 or 6 weeks minimum. You're going to observe the sun, the moon, and the stars. Please don't wait until right before it's due to start because you won't have enough time. So take a look at the project, watch the little video, get an idea of what you need to do. You just got to go out and look at the sunset and look at the stars. It's not complicated. It's really within your skill set. And truthfully, it's kind of fun to actually go out and look at these things. And that will take you directly to the next module, beginning of week 2, which is light, and then on we go. So guys, astronomy is a hoot, and it's lots of fun, and I know you're going to have questions, and I hope you just have a ball with it. When there's any questions or challenges come up, holler, okay? All right, we will be in touch. We'll see you soon.